You ever find yourself like at a really loud party and you can't hear a single word the person next to you is saying, so you just kind of nod and guess the context from their tone?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Just smiling and hoping you didn't agree to something crazy.
Right. Well, it turns out AI vision models do the exact same thing. Today, we are doing a deep dive into some brand new research on something called visual contrastive self-distillation, or VCSD.
Yep.
It is this really ingenious leap where models are teaching themselves to truly, see without us having to hold their hands.
It really is a fundamental shift in how we approach training. But before we get into taking those training wheels off, we should probably talk about building systems the right way.
Yeah, for sure, because building smart AI requires the right partner, and this deep dive is sponsored by Embersilk. So if you need help with AI training or automation, integration, custom software development, they have got you covered.
Highly recommend them.
Yeah, if you're trying to figure out where AI agents could make the most impact for your business or even your personal life, just check out embersilk.com for all your AI needs.
Okay, so getting back to it, let's look at why these models are just guessing instead of actually looking at what we show them.
Yeah, because it seems so counterintuitive, right? I mean, if a vision language model has eyes, why doesn't it just use them? It feels like we're fighting the architecture itself.
We kind of are, honestly. Because these models are anchored to massive text-based large language models, their language habits are just overwhelmingly strong.
Okay, so they lean on what they know.
Exactly. Like if
Yeah.
you ask it what's sitting on a desk in a really grainy photo, it's going to default to the statistical probability of, say, a coffee mug being there.
Oh, rather than actually analyzing the pixels in the image itself.
Right. And traditionally, to fix this, researchers had to rely on a much smarter external teacher model. Or they'd have to use cheat sheets like literally cropping the image to force the AI to look right at the mug.
Okay, so it's basically like a student who only passes a test because the teacher accidentally left the answer key on the desk.
Right, yeah.
I mean, they aren't learning the material, they're just copying the key. So how do we actually take that cheat sheet away?
Well, that is where VCSD comes in, because it removes that external teacher entirely. What it does instead is have the model evaluate the exact same prompt twice.
Wait, twice? How does that work?
So first, it looks at the original image and comes up with an answer. But then it evaluates the exact same prompt again, except this time with a completely black, content-erased image.
Oh, wow. It's like an eyes closed test.
Yes,
So
exactly.
if it gives the exact same answer in the dark as it does with the lights on, it's obviously just guessing based on its text habits.
You nailed it. And by mathematically contrasting those two states, the AI highlights the answers that genuinely rely on visual evidence.
That is brilliant. So it basically builds its own self-improvement target.
Right. It essentially writes a new rule for itself, rewarding visually grounded facts and penalizing those blind, text-based guesses.
I imagine the practical impact of generating its own feedback loop like that has to be pretty massive.
Yeah, it really is. The results are super uplifting. Just as an example, this simple trick dramatically improved a 2 billion parameter Qwen 3 model.
Okay.
Its accuracy across major benchmarks jumped from about 62.2% to over 67%.
Wait, really? Just from that one change?
Yeah, without even adding new training data. In one specific test, it had to count these complex 3D math blocks.
And older models would normally just hallucinate the numbers, right? Because of their text habits?
Exactly, based on language patterns they'd read before. But with VCSD, the model successfully counted the blocks by actually isolating and looking at the visual quantity in the image.
That is so inspiring. We are literally unlocking AI's ability to self-improve autonomously and accurately. It paves the way for incredibly reliable tools to solve complex global problems.
It really does. It's such a bright, optimistic trajectory for the technology. We're building systems that actually verify reality.
Absolutely. And, it leaves me with this thought for you to chew on. If an AI can become drastically smarter just by comparing what it knows with its eyes open versus its eyes closed, could we humans sharpen our own critical thinking by intentionally removing our most relied upon assumptions?
Oh, I like that. We could probably all use an eyes closed test every now and then.
Totally. Well, if you enjoyed this deep dive, please subscribe to the show. And hey, leave us a 5-star review if you can. It really does help get the word out. Thanks for tuning in.